So next question which I wanted to ask was in relation to the story you just told. Like, were your brothers ever been taken or having experiences?
I was with one of my brothers when we were coming back from the store. We were in a pickup truck. It was at night, about 8:30. It was dark, and we were going by these high tension wires, and we saw a ship that was oddly cone-shaped and rotating with lights all around it. It was like a wide cone, short, wide cone shape. And it was rotating right around maybe about a foot from the high-tension wires and rotating around with all these strange lights very close, I would say about 50 yards from the truck with the high-tension wires, and if you looked up, that's where it was. And we both looked at it, we both said, "Oh, that's odd," and we said, "Yeah, that's odd." And then we just kept driving, and we didn't even talk about it. So that's strange, all right? Another...
I would think that you were somehow manipulated or programmed to, to behave this way.
Absolutely, because anybody else would have said, "What the heck is that? What did we just see?" "No, that's odd." "Yeah." Okay. But that would happen on numerous occasions. Another time, my whole family, except for my father, was my mother and my brothers and my sister. We lived on a farm, and it was dusk, so we could see a crescent moon. And my mother said, "Hey, there's 6 UFOs in formation up if you look toward the moon. You'll see them, discs, silver discs, the typical silver disc." So we went over and we're all looking at it, and they were in like a V-type formation like this. And every once in a while, one of the ships would come out of formation, make a few zigzaggy type things, and drop right back into perfect formation. And this went on for a good 45 minutes, and I said, "Well, I've seen enough of this. I'm bored. I'm going to go do something else." We just, no, yeah, But my mother would have a lot of sightings. She would stop at the overpass and watch the cigar-shaped ones for, 45 minutes or so. And, "Hey, guess what I saw? Oh, another one?" Okay. It was...
Isn't it strange?
Yeah, this is pretty odd. So
people hunt for those.
I know.
Crave to see those.
We see them all the time. It was like, and my mother and father one time said they saw one when we were kids. I didn't see it. They stayed up part of the night watching it, and then they got sick of watching it and went to sleep. Another time, I was riding my horse, and I just gotten off the horse, and I was in the yard holding on to her, and a very low one came over. It was circular, saucer-shaped. I didn't see the ship, but everybody else saw it. I saw the shadow of it, and they said it was gold, like a gold color, and it flew so low. But this one made like a sound. It was like a distressful sound. It was like the sound of the old ambulances, like a woo, woo, and it literally smacked the top of the trees, and the pine trees were just swaying back and forth. My horse was rearing up. I was trying to control my horse because it was freaking her out so bad. That's why I didn't get a look at it. And everybody else was looking up at it going, "Oh my gosh." They were flipping out. I would say about 10 minutes after that, about anywhere from 4 to 6 Air Force jets flying really low, following it. And it was crazy. It was just craziness. And everybody in the town knew about it. The whole town saw it. And everybody talked about it for a while after that, but then it died down. But there was, during that time period in the 60s, in that area where I grew up, there was quite a few sightings. And it wasn't unusual.
Just as you mentioned the horse, I heard that dogs react pretty badly to abductions and UFOs, and they get hurt more than humans. Or other animals are somehow feeling something and behaving differently. Have you noticed any of that sort, except with the horse?
The other times when I was visited over the years, I would have to say that my animals were kind of knocked out or complacent. They do that thing with the, make everything calm when they come, Not in the beginning, everybody's freaking out in the beginning, but then they do this thing to the air and everybody gets calm. But, let's see, I went for years, without anything. I had, when I was in the Air Force, I had a sighting when I was in the Air Force. I lived off base. That was in the around mid-70s. I don't want to give any exact dates. I looked up over where there was a top secret installation, and I won't name the area either. I saw what looked like a yellow globe object doing extreme aeronautical things that our ships couldn't do, our planes. It was doing zigzags, going at an extreme speed in a short distance, coming to a halt, and all kinds of zigzags. It was erratic, and so I figured I better call this in. So I called the base, and I said, "You have something over," and I named the place, and it doesn't look like one of ours. And he said, "Can you describe it?" And I said, "Sure." So I stayed on the phone with this guy, reporting this, and he took it serious. He took everything down, and I stayed on the phone with him until it was gone. And I even identified who I was. I never was questioned about it, and it was like it never happened. He just took the information, and that was it. So, and he believed me. He wasn't, oh yeah, right. No, he was taking the whole thing serious. Then I would say, I would have to fast forward years later.
Before you do that, you just mentioned over a secret installation on UFO, and that brings up the story that UFOs kind of try to suppress destructive behaviors of humans. Like there was a story when they deactivated before some serious conflict, they deactivated the rockets, basically emptied it or shot it elsewhere. So do you have any evidence you saw, or you watched that, or maybe the aliens told you that that's their activity where they disable our weapons?
In the future, they told me that. Not at that point right there, but in the future, they said that they would not let a nuclear exchange happen. It was just the people. It was, everything else on the planet that would be in trouble. They don't want that.
Okay, we make a pause here and we continue next fragment.